the first to 5 for a place in the round of 32 and a meeting with Leicester's Joe O'Connor. They've only played twice before. Alan has won both of those, but that was a while ago now. Both in the home nations back in 2019, 4-1 in the English Open and the same score in the Scottish Open. Alan McManus alongside me. Alan, I recall you played Louis Heathcote for a place at the Crucible back in 2020 when we were all behind closed doors because of COVID, and I think you were impressed by what you saw back then.
Yeah, very good player. I'm really looking forward to watching this match actually tonight, just to see the kind of progress he's been making. He played just very quickly, played brilliantly last week, didn't he, to get the better of Ollie Lines 5-0, maybe the best performance as a professional actually in a single match. A terrific talent, very gifted, an unbelievably good potter. So very much looking forward to it.
Back on the tour this season, having fallen off last season, which was a disappointment for him. In fact, his only highlight was actually in this tournament. He made the last 16 here in Berlin, lost to eventual champion Ali Carter, one of the winners this morning. Beat the Welshman Ryan Davis in Q School 2 to immediately return to the tour. So under no pressure this season as regards his tour spot. Of course, he gets a brand new 2-year card for winning at Q School. But a tough task in the shape of one of the form players of the last couple of seasons. Mark Allen, quite outstanding last season in particular, of course. 3 big titles for him, including his first UK Championship. Retained his Northern Ireland Open, won the World Grand Prix and was semi-finalist at the Crucible as well. There is the crowd. A very healthy one once again, with plenty of snooker to keep them entertained. 5 tables, as mentioned, in use. Tables 1 to 4 can be watched throughout the evening on Discovery Plus.
Yeah, thank you, Phil, for that reminder of the dark days of lockdown.
Feels like another lifetime ago now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. But yeah, Leo. I'm calling him Leo. Louis Heathcote. It's a fantastic long game he had, certainly a few years ago. Probably the hallmark of his game. Very gifted. Yes, and news travels fast on the tour as well, and Mark Allen will know all about that performance by Louis just 10 days ago or so.
Made a couple of centuries, didn't he? 133 and 114 on his way to that whitewash victory. And of course, before he played Allen in qualifying in Sheffield at the World Championship, he'd beaten Ali Carter. And that ended Carter's 17-year consecutive run at the Crucible, so it was a very notable victory at the time.
Yeah, I think back then he had a bit of naivety about him in some ways, which of course can help when you're setting out on the tour. You don't really know what it's all about. He just played off the cuff against Ali Carter. He won well that match as well.
Just a reminder of what else is going on this evening. As mentioned, it's all available on Discovery Plus. Table 2, Alfie Davis against Marco Fu. Table 3, Dave Gilbert against Jordan Brown, who shares the highest break of the tournament so far, made in qualifying a 142. And the other matches, Joe Perry against Jingzi Hao, Julian Leclerc against Ken Doherty.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to see plenty of Louis tonight. He's got quite an interesting way of hitting the ball. He's not what I would call a terrific ball striker, but he's such a strong potter. It's an unusual combination he has. There you go.
One.
Yeah, this is where you've got to learn. Brown's the shot here
Brown ball.
because... Yeah, worth having another look. Brown's the ball to hide in behind here because Pink's got left-hand cover. Yeah, that's good.
Code 1.
Just good tactical play, that. See, might have played in behind the yellow a few years back, but learning all the time.
We've already seen quite a few of the big hitters bow out early here at the Templedrum. Mark Selby, Judd Trump, Luca Brissell yesterday. Now Mark Allen had a tight squeeze in the end. Was taken to a decider against Manasarwin Fetmalaikal, but in typical Mark Allen fashion, he showed his trademark nerve at crunch time and made a century to get the job done. So often we've seen him deliver in final frame deciders. Malgorzata Kanieszka, our referee.
And no problem here, playing the same shot again. The tiniest of adjustments. Maybe a free ball this time.
Foul. And a miss. Louis, code 4.
Not quite.
Louis.
More tables this year. Of course, it's now a 7-day event. The top 8 seeds held back to the venue. Another excellent long red from Heathcote. Last season, of course, only 4 of the top 16 actually made it to Berlin, and only 2 of those got to the quarterfinals.
Code 1.
Mark Williams, a 2-times champion, bowed out this afternoon. An excellent performance from He Guo Zhang. 5-1 victor over Williams. Rob Milkins, Ryan Day, Zach Shurty, good win for him over Alexander Ursenbacher. Zhu Sir and Andrew Paget over Chris Wakelin, 5-3, were among the winners this afternoon, along with Trump, who himself is going for a hat-trick of German Masters titles this week. Mark Allen's best ever run in this tournament, a semi-final.
Foul. And a miss. Louis hit code 4.
That was a couple of years ago when he lost to Yan Bingtao.
Been a feature of Mark's game the last couple of years, been so resolute in his defence. When seemingly in a world of trouble like he is here.
Good. Thank you.
Kind of similar to the two-cushion escape. Plays it on the short side, this one, and then try to get the adjustment. Just like that. Good shot.
Very nicely played. Aside from his victory at the shootout, which of course earned him those priceless 50,000 ranking points and got him into the World Grand Prix, it's actually been a pretty modest season in the ranking events for Mark Allen. He'd only made one quarter-final before the shootout. That was the Wuhan Open, where he lost to eventual runner-up Carter. He was beaten in that World Grand Prix in the last 16 by Zhang Anda. But he was unplayable in the Champion of Champions. He only lost 8 frames in his 4 matches. Well, the cannon off the black could have resulted in problems for Louis Heathcote. He has at least got the cue ball back to the bottom end. Heathcote's solitary quarter-final ranking appearance was also at the shootout. That was in 2021. We know that Mark Allen plays a slightly different game these days than previously, and clearly the results would indicate that that change of tack has paid off. But certainly patience, I think, is one of the virtues that he's added to his match play. He's more than happy to bide his time and wait for an opportunity, Alan.
Absolutely. And his game plan in this match, I think we've all gotten it loud and clear. He's going to sit back and try to pin Louis in deep bulk every chance he gets and wait on a mistake like this. Just got to pop this on the thin side to get a cue ball up table. Yeah, it's well done. Good shot, that. Very good shot. It might look a wee bit fortunate, the kiss on the blue, but to pot it thin was the key. Cue ball up table.
So Allen wins the safety exchange. What can he now do with this opportunity? Closing in on 600 career centuries, just 2 shy. He's made 27 this season.
Seven. 12. The
black's currently out of commission, but Alan happy to work with the blue for the time being to try and build a lead in this opening frame.
Just the man for the job, isn't it, with his famed cue ball control to keep getting above the blue. Once again, absolutely
19.
perfectly played. There's no panic as far as getting the pink on his spot, because if and when he manages to get rid of these 3 or 4 reds, then from above the blue,
25.
like there, it's an easy cannon into the 3 by the black, isn't it? So no hurry. Might gamble on playing blue and pink here.
31.
Yeah. He's taking these beautifully. It's one of those breaks that pleases a player. I've got the cue ball so neat and tidy.
$36. $37.
Yeah, just the fact he's got the perfect angle. Will he be tempted this time? Oh, no. I thought, well, I'm certain a few years ago he would have deep screw into the 3 reds.
42.
He just wants to build the lead, so the key shot now.
I think it's another indicator of the way in which Alan has slightly changed his approach in the last couple of seasons. More inclined now to play the percentages, minimise risk, take a little bit more time over his shots.
$48.
Yeah, I mean, even on that one shot alone, he didn't go in with a lot of pace. He's trying to caress a couple of reds into the open, so still more work to do. Again, that's superb, isn't it?
49.
To finish there, it gives him a couple of options. It's one of those little breaks, actually, Phil, isn't it? Show it to a lot of youngsters. This is why we keep saying finish above the blue. He's done it about 10 in a row, something like that.
This time the attempted cannon
54.
hasn't gone to plan, but he's in a strong position. Clearly, given the position of the remaining reds, a lot of work for Louis Heathcote to get back into this frame from here. 40 behind, still 59 available in theory, but of course the black has been out of commission throughout this frame.
Mark 54.
A couple of frames have already been decided this evening. Joe Perry has the first against Jingzi Hao. Table 4. And likewise, Marco Fu, who's been in eye-catching form of late, playing at quite a pace as well around the table is Marco, 3 times a ranking event winner. He's taken the opener against Alfie Davis. Of course, he enjoyed that very impressive 5-1 victory over Mark Selby yesterday. Oh dear. That could be curtains for Heathcote in this opening frame. The red's out in open play, which is what he wanted, but what he didn't need was to leave Allen this chance to polish the frame off. Just a couple of reds required to make that happen.
One. Six. 7.
It's been a typically measured Mark Allen frame. Allen Mark II, if you will. Previously, he was known as a player who could burst to life, put together 4 or 5 quick frames, quick fire breaks, but he could be streaky, couldn't he? A bit mercurial. He could go missing as well in matches, but
13.
in the last season or so, he's been able to become a lot more consistent in terms of his results. He's been winning more often. He's winning the big titles. He has 2 legs of the Triple Crown now,
20.
of course, having won the UK Championship last season. Won the Masters back in 2018. And reached the
21.
semi-finals at the Crucible for only the 2nd time in his career when he lost that post-midnight epic with Selby in the spring. So everything is trending upwards for Allen.
$26.
And this has been a very good start. The 54 break, as Alan mentioned, an exercise in how to keep a break going by getting top side of the blue to make your next positional shot that much easier. And although he did eventually miss the cannon he needed, he was in complete control of the frame at that stage with reds awkward. And he's finished the job.
31.
Yeah, he sure has, in style. Good performance. Frame 1, yeah, it's early days, very early, but looks in all departments.
You won't find a player who doesn't speak highly of the Temple Drum, and Mark Allen, as mentioned, has not won this tournament yet. He'd love to add this to his CV this week. That would be another box ticked. He remains extremely ambitious.
35.
Pretty much the perfect frame from Allen. He won the safety battle. He got in with a half century, which was very nicely engineered, and then
46.
Picked up the pieces at the end of the frame. So Louis Heathcote knows he's going to have to play exceptionally well this evening to have a chance, because Mark Allen is looking sharp as he clears the table. The reigning champion of champions winner off to an impressive start here in Berlin this evening. He leads Louis Heathcote by 1 frame to 0. 5 is the target for a place in round 3. Second evening of
Second frame,
the German
Heathcote
Masters. Mark Allen played pretty much the perfect frame, the textbook frame of snooker there. good safety, a nice half century, and then finish things off after Louis Heathcote left him a red. So the Leicester man getting us underway in frame 2. This is their third meeting. Allen having won the previous 2 for the loss on both occasions of just the 1 frame. But Heathcote has been in fine form. Allen referenced that superb victory in World Open qualifying at the expense of Ollie Lyons. 5-0, couple of centuries from Heathcote. One of the challenges of playing in this great arena is, of course, there are a lot of distractions with the neighbouring tables very adjacent and lots of applause coming from all directions for various different matches. So that's all part of the challenge here, to keep your focus. Didn't want that cannon on the blue. So again, Mark Allen wins the safety exchange.
Yeah, he sure does. And is he going to make good on it by just dropping this red in? Fully committed. Black waiting. Oh, superb. Very good indeed. Louis there almost turning away like he knows what's coming.
That was so well cued, wasn't it, from Allen, right in the centre of the pocket. Just dropped it in for the black.
Eight. 9. Sixteen. 17. 25. 32. 33.
for once he loses his cue ball quite badly. He does have an alternative to the far right
40.
corner, but not what he was looking for.
Mark Allen, 40.
So the break ends at 40. Relief for Louis Heathcote. Had that gone in, Allen could well have been looking at a 2-0 advantage. As it is, a chance for Heathcote, who's so good from long range. But he hasn't had much of a look in yet, and that makes a shot like that much harder when you've had very little table time. And worse for Heathcote is that he's left Allen with this opportunity to get back in and build on his already handy lead.
One.
Everyone getting a good look at this one.
Six. Seven.
Dave Gilbert in the background there, up against Jordan Brown on table 3. That's another match you can watch on Discovery Plus. First frame is still up for grabs.
Twelve.
That was a better shot than it looked. Be able to brush cannon off the pack.
13.
Yeah, and that should be good enough, providing this black goes in for 2-0.
Not getting much of a look in at the moment. And that's down to the excellence of Mark Allen's all-round play, not just his potting, but his safety has been very good. He's created chances with his safety play. And although he ran out of prime position and missed to the green pocket just now,
20.
all he left for Heathcote was a tough long red, which, when you've been under pressure, not easy at all. And back in now in a bid to close this out at the second attempt. He's pretty close already. This black, a red and another colour for 2-0.
It's incredible, actually, the change in his game. I mean, I think pretty much almost every player in the tour there would have tried to get those reds into play, but it's a complete transformation the way he goes about it. paying off tonight. It's another terrific pot.
29.
I think he felt himself that he was underachieving. Yes, he was, but he felt as though he wasn't delivering in the big events in the way he wanted to.
34.
Already, Heathcote needs a couple of snookers. So he felt that changes were required. Of course, he made changes away from the table by losing
Mark Allen,
a huge amount of
34.
weight, determined to get himself in better shape, which he clearly feels has helped his game as well, but there have undoubtedly been tactical changes to go with that. And it's hard to argue with the results that he's gleaned from them. 3 big titles last season, a couple already this, and loads of snooker still to be played.
Yeah, I think another thing about him, looking ahead further in the season, it's been well documented he doesn't have the best record for his talents at the Crucible. He now kind of looks like a Crucible player, doesn't he? You know, he's kind of got that tag on him, a bit like Kyron Wilson probably had 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes, and I think it was his very modest, by his standards, record at the World Championship, which was a big motivator to change things. When you consider he turned pro back in 2005, he's only twice made the one-table setup at the Crucible, and last season was the second. So it was long overdue, a deep run in Sheffield.
I know one thing, I wouldn't want to play him over a best of 33 or 35, wouldn't you? I know Mark Selby, you know, got the best of him, but yeah, it's a big ask. It's going to be a tough couple of days for whoever faces him if he gets there.
I think this is further evidence, isn't it? He's over the winning line, but he's taking plenty of time over this. He doesn't want to give his opponent any chance, if he can help it, to get back into this frame. In the event, there is half a chance here for Heathcote, but clearly he's got a lot to do, needing a couple of snookers. He could do with a bit of table time, actually, just to pod a few. Feel part of this match. He's not had much opportunity thus far. Just to underline that point, just 9 minutes of table time for Heathcote, nearly 2 frames in.
Yeah, just another quick point on that. It shows you how tough you have to be at this game. That match that he won against Ollie Lines, Oliver Lines only played 24 shots in the entire match, best of 9. And yet, here we are tonight. It's kind of having the same kind of thing administered to himself.
One.
Well, here is a chance to, at the very least, pod a few. Try and establish some rhythm in that cue action. And see what happens. 2 snookers required as things stand.
Yeah, I know the frame is probably gone.
8.
I don't know why he didn't just hold the spot. It was dead straight. Hold the black spot. Go on the pink, no problem. So. Yeah, still just about on one, but no fluency in that arm as yet.
Yeah, not to be.
Got 9, frame considered.
That's certainly
frame
the end of
Mark
the
Allen.
frame. So problems mounting for Louis Heathcote. It was always going to be a tough ask against one of the form players in the world. And so it's proving. Mark. The second evening here at the Templedrum in Berlin. And Mark Allen is